Welcome back, my beautiful kitties. This is the Katie Cat Nails channel. Today we're gonna go ahead and jump right into yet another fabulous Madam Glam unboxing. They were kind enough to send me their October collection. I apologize for the screaming baby in the background. She is extra happy today. And I am in my husband's study for this voiceover, so it's a little echoey. But as I was saying, this is the Boston collection. They let me choose 4 shades from this collection to create this nail set with. I ended up choosing Stronger Together, Boston is Calling, Tea Party, and Check Yourself. As a New Englander myself, these names definitely ring very familiar bells. Check Yourself is definitely a very typical response from a Bostonite. If you've never been there, I assure you it's definitely something that's said quite often. These shades are very beautiful, you know, their usual creamy consistency. And I did choose some more browns and neutrals just because my overall color selection in my personal gel polish collection needs some more brown and neutrals and beiges, so that's what I chose to complete this nail set today. The browns that I chose are very, very beautiful. I really liked the Stronger Together one. It is a beautiful melanin color, like definitely a very beautiful shade. The first thing that I thought of was a very beautiful friend of mine. The shade would match her perfectly. So here I'm just giving you a look at how the consistency is. Like I said, it's their usual very beautiful opaque creamy consistency. Now let's go ahead and get right into the swatches. So the first color that we are swatching is Tea Party. Now, if you don't know anything about Tea Party, it is a historical event that happened in the port of Boston, where basically, from what I can remember from history, the colony of Boston was sick of being taxed by Britain in order to sell their tea. So they pretty much burned and threw all of the product that was coming from Britain into the port of Boston, into the ocean, set it on fire. And basically they were just like, enough is enough. Here is that beautiful Boston is Calling shade. This is a more like hot cocoa-y brown, definitely still very opaque, a tiny bit thinner than the other shades, but still very opaque. This one barely needed 2 coats. Here is the Check Yourself shade. This was kind of like a tannish gray beige color. It's actually very similar to Tea Party, but Tea Party is more of like a milky tea color. Definitely both beautiful, you know, neutral, natural tones that I was very happy to add to my collection. And here is the Stronger Together shade. You know, not only is the motto of Boston, Boston Strong, but there have been a lot of, you know, things that have gone on there recently in the past couple years. You know, the marathon tragedy, as well as multiple other things. So, you know, Stronger Together is a beautiful name for a shade from Boston. And these are the 4 shades that I picked out. And we're just gonna go ahead and get right into the set. So I already applied my full cover nail tips. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and try to clean up some of the spillage that was left over from applying them. I tried to get as much of it off as I could, but I didn't want to put too much pressure on my cuticles, as I have been doing multiple sets at a time in order to try to keep up with videos. And then I went in with a coarse sanding band, but this one was really digging up these nails too much. I did not use my usual gel tip nail tips for this. I did use just some regular plastic full cover nail tips off of Amazon, which I will link in the box below. So this coarser sanding band was definitely digging them up a little bit too much. So as you can see here, I did just switch to a fine medium to fine sanding band. This is not a medium sanding band. It said on the bag medium to fine. I cannot figure out where I got these from, if I got them on Amazon or if I got them somewhere else. So unfortunately I cannot link those in the description box. And then I just like to go ahead and dust myself off, dust the nails off, and I will give both the nail tips and my fingers a quick brushing with some rubbing alcohol and a manicure brush. Then I went ahead and I went in with the Madam Glam base coat just to give the full cover nail tips a nice smooth finish for me to do my nail art on. Again, I do apologize for the noise in the background. My husband is not feeling well, so he is sleeping it off today, so I do not have access to the bedroom where I normally do my voiceovers. And his office is in the back of the house, which is directly on the street. And I do live in a very urban area. There's lots of cars. So I do apologize for any noise that may be coming through. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go in with the first shade. And this is the Check Yourself. And I'm just going to use this as my base for 4 out of the 5 nails. And as you can see, the color coverage, as usual with Madam Glam, is absolutely phenomenal. I typically do 2 coats just because it helps to give a nice smooth base, especially since I buff the nail tips before applying. So you're just gonna go ahead and see me do this for the pinky, and then we're going to do that to the rest of the 4 out of the 5 nails. So now that I have my base coat on the 4 out of the 5 nails using the Check Yourself, I'm gonna go in with the Boston Calling, and we're just gonna go ahead and we're going to do our base shade on the index finger with that. As you'll notice at some of the cuticles, unfortunately I did not get all of the seepage from the gel glue out of my cuticles, so that is why some of the cuticles look a little janky. I apologize for that. That is not a result of the polish at all. That is just because I did not do a good job of removing the seepage from the cuticle area. And then of course, as always, I had a cat hair on the nail, so I had to wipe that off and kind of start over. But yeah, so that's what we're going with for our base layers. Now that we've gotten our base coat down, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of each of the other 3 shades, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start some of our nail art. Now, I kind of saw like this design about a month ago on Instagram. I tried to go back and find it, but I couldn't find it. If I do find it at some point again, scrolling through Instagram, I will definitely add it to the description box after the fact, because I always want to give credit to whoever or wherever I got my ideas from. So we're gonna go in with the Boston is Calling, and we're going to do a French tip on, again, 4 out of the 5 nails. And then we're going to use the Stronger Together to do a French tip on one of them. And this is pretty much just how I have been learning to do my French tips. I draw the lines and then I go in with the polish brush itself. And then if there are any patchy areas, I go back in with the liner brush and I just kind of drag it through. I'm getting a little bit better at French tips, so that's good. I didn't quite have to start over as many times as I normally do, but this is just the easiest way for me to do. I know that there are a lot of different options out there and ways that you can do a French tip, especially for a beginner, but drawing those lines, that line down the middle, is just the way that I've been doing it. Now that I've gone ahead and I've gotten all my French tips on, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing some of my nail art. I was going to do the Stronger Together shade on the index finger, but I decided to do it on the middle and the thumb instead. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and start doing some of my nail art. So for the index finger, I decided that I was just gonna do like a half French tip. And then I'm kind of doing like overlapping like half French tips on top of that. and you'll see what I mean in a moment. And I did not focus on making them centered because I kind of wanted the off look with this. Like, I did not want everything to be perfectly symmetrical and like lined up. Although I did try to make, you know, my actual shapes and lines as neat as possible, which I'm also getting better at that as well. And as you can see, for this tip, I did just use the liner brush to drag the product down to the tip of the nail to complete the solid color. So from here on out, the voiceover should be a lot better and a lot cleaner. I do apologize for the beginning of this video. I was, again, in a room that is quite echoey and that has a direct ear to the street. But I am now back in my bedroom, so things should be much cleaner and quieter from here on out. So as you can see, I'm pretty much just repeating the same process and doing a half French tip to the nails. Now I'm pretty much going to do the same thing on all of them, so I'm going to go ahead and hush up for a little bit so that you can watch that. But before I go, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying this video. It would really help me out a bunch. We did get to 500 subscribers, so I'm super excited about that. Thank you so much to everyone who participated in that giveaway. I have chosen my winner, and I did announce the winner on my community tab once it opened. So that was a big milestone for me, and I'm super happy about that. So I'm just gonna hush up for a couple minutes and I'm gonna let you watch me do the rest of this. Now that we have all of our half French tips on, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go in with some bling. I decided that I wanted to keep the bling in line with the colors of the nail design. So I went ahead and I picked some really pretty goldish brown and copper colored rhinestones. And I did just apply those to the cuticles. This nail set was like super, super pretty. I did make kind of a mess with the nail glue, so please excuse that. It could have been a lot neater. Here I was kind of going for something else, but I decided at the last minute that I did not like the placement of the rhinestones, so I ended up taking them all off, wiping off the nail and redoing it. As you can see here, I just ended up putting one on the pinky, and then I did add a couple others to the other fingers, and I just alternated between the copper colored rhinestones and the beautiful golden brown. I really wish that I would have remembered to wipe away the edges of the nail glue, which is what I normally do if I make a mess, but somehow for the life of me, I don't understand how I forgot to before I cured. So then I was unfortunately stuck with that chunky line of rhinestone glue up top. So forewarning, if you're going to use rhinestone glue like that, please, make sure you wipe away the excess. Otherwise, you're going to get those big chunky glue lines, and unfortunately, it's going to take away from the look of the nails. But overall, I absolutely loved this collection. As you can see, we're just gonna go ahead and go in and top this off with some of the Madam Glam top coat, which so far is my favorite top coat so far. It is very scratch resistant. I did a test when I first received my first PR from them, where I took some of the nails I had created for my first PR video and I put them in my jar with my other saved nails, and I shook it around like a lot. And the nail tips still did not have any scratches. There was no damage, anything like that. And I have also used it on a couple friends as well. And so far, it's definitely my favorite top coat that I have. Now, if you are interested in purchasing the Boston collection, you can find the link for it down below, as well as my discount code for 30% off, which is katiecatnails 30_1. And here I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some cuticle oil to my crusty dusty cuticles, and that's going to complete the nail set. Thank you once again to Madam Glam for sending me your latest collection. I've absolutely been loving being a part of your launches, and I'm just so grateful that you guys keep giving me the opportunity to showcase these amazing gel polishes for you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video or if you want to see more content in the future. And if you want to get notified every time I post a video, don't forget to hit the little notification bell on the side of the subscribe button. All information on the products that I used today, the website, and the discount code will be in the description box below, as well as the nail tips and glue that I used in case you're interested in that as well. As always, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I hope that you'll join me for my next video.